Listen carefully. You weren't born to be soft. You weren't made to coast through life, scroll endlessly, eat junk, sleep late, and call it self-care. You were built to dominate, not participate. And if that triggers you, good. Because the truth isn't here to coddle you. It's here to slap you awake. Comfort is killing you. Every time you hit snooze, every time you skip the gym, every time you avoid hard conversations, you're voting against yourself. Success isn't handed out to the polite, the patient, or the passive. It's stolen by those who are ruthless enough to take what they want without asking for permission. You think you're tired. You're not tired. You're undisciplined. Motivation is nothing. It's a spark. Discipline is the flame. You train when you don't feel like it. You study when your brain wants to rot in front of a screen. That's what separates men from boys, warriors from whiners, savages from the average. And no one's coming to save you. Not your mom, not your mate, not some magical sign from the universe you save you. You wake up, you put your armor on, mentally, physically, emotionally, and you go to war with the version of you that wants to stay the same. You want respect, earn it. Want power, build it. Want freedom, sacrifice for it. This world doesn't hand out trophies for effort. It rewards outcome. You either win or you lose. That's it. So stop waiting to feel like it. Stop negotiating with your weakness. Stop pretending life's unfair. It is unfair. Good. That's your advantage. Because while they complain, you train. While they party, you grind. While they blame, you become unbreakable. Become a savage. Ruthless in your routine. Dangerous in your discipline. Calm under pressure. Fierce with focus. And absolutely allergic to excuses. The version of you you're chasing, he doesn't want comfort. He wants war. Now get up and earn it. Comfort is the enemy of progress. It lulls you into a false sense of security, convinces you that average is acceptable, and blinds you to the brutal reality of what it takes to win. It's a silent killer, not loud, not dramatic, but subtle, creeping in when you're tired, when things are good enough, and when you start believing that rest is the reward instead of the recharge. Most people aren't failing because they don't have talent. They're failing because they've made peace with mediocrity. They've allowed comfort to become their default setting, and in doing so, they've chosen a life of smallness. Safe, predictable, and entirely forgettable. You wake up in a warm bed, scroll through your phone for an hour, eat processed food, skip the workout because you'll do it tomorrow, and then complain about why your life doesn't change. That's comfort talking. That's weakness dressed up as self-love. Real self-love is doing what's necessary, not what's easy. Comfort wants you to believe you deserve rest without having earned it. It tells you that you need a break when you've barely started. It whispers lies in your ear like, you've done enough for today. You deserve this cheat day, or it's not the right time. Comfort is persuasive, seductive even, but it's a liar. If you truly want growth, you have to be willing to suffer. You have to chase discomfort like your life depends on it, because it does. The body doesn't grow in the comfort zone. Neither does the mind, nor does your income, your strength, your confidence, your reputation, or your legacy. Everything you say you want. Power, success, influence, freedom. Lives on the other side of pain. And if you're not willing to walk through that fire, then don't expect to reach the level of people who do. You don't build character in convenience. You build it in chaos under pressure, when your mind tells you to quit, but you keep moving anyway. Look at the people you admire, not the ones you envy, but the ones who earn your respect. They didn't get there by choosing comfort. They got there by doing the hard things repeatedly, obsessively, without compromise. They woke up early when no one was watching. They trained when no one clapped. They sacrificed when no one cared. They made friends with pain. They made peace with suffering. They didn't just tolerate discomfort. They became it as. That's the difference between winners and whiners. Whiners want shortcuts. They want hacks. They want results without the struggle. Winners understand that the pain is the path. If you want to stand out in a world full of soft people looking for an easy life, then stop chasing comfort Embrace discomfort. Make it your ally. Every time you feel resistance, that urge to quit, to delay, to take the easy option, lean into it. That's the signal. That's the moment you grow. So if you feel tired, good. That means you're pushing. If you feel sore, good. That means you're training. If you feel uncomfortable, good. That means you're alive. Never trust the easy road. That's where average lives. Take the hard road, the rough one, the steep climb no one else wants, because that's where you become something real, something unshakable, something unstoppable. Comfort may feel good in the moment, but it's robbing you of the future you're capable of. Burn the couch, break the routine, step into the discomfort, and as become the savage you were born to be. Discipline is stronger than motivation. That's a truth most people refuse to accept because it crushes their lazy little narrative. Everyone waits for motivation to strike like it's some divine spark that'll magically turn them into a beast. But motivation is a fraud. It's inconsistent. It comes and goes. It's based on feelings, and feelings are weak. One bad night of sleep, one stressful conversation, one off day, and your motivation disappears. That's why the average person never levels up. They build their life around fleeting feelings instead of solid foundations. Discipline is the exact opposite. It doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care what mood you're in. It just gets the job done. You want to know the real secret to success. It's doing what needs to be done long after the mood in which you said you'd do it has passed. That's discipline. Waking up early when your bed feels like a trap. Hitting the gym when your muscles are atching. Sticking to the grind when nobody's clapping for you. Showing up every single day, regardless of the circumstances. That's what separates the elite from the average. Motivation can spark the fire, but discipline keeps it burning through the storms, through the setbacks, through the chaos of life. If you rely on motivation, you'll always be at the mercy of your emotions. But if you build discipline, you become unstoppable. People want to feel inspired before they move. That's weak. Savages don't wait to feel inspired. They act regardless of emotion. They don't need hype. They don't need validation. They operate on principle. It's about standards. If your standard is high, your actions follow no matter what mood you're in. That's how you become dangerous. That's how you develop the edge that average people will never understand. They'll look at you and think you're lucky. They'll blame genetics or privilege. But the truth is you just didn't quit when they did. You stayed consistent when they got distracted. You built yourself through discipline, not dopamine. Discipline is a muscle. You train it daily. Every time you do something hard, even when you don't feel like it, you're adding a brick to the fortress. You're rewiring your brain to stop negotiating with weakness. You're becoming someone who can be trusted, not by others, but by yourself. That's where true confidence comes from. Not from motivational speeches or cheesy quotes, but from the brutal certainty that when things get hard, you'll show up anyway. Discipline creates freedom. It sounds like a contradiction, but it's the truth. When you have discipline, you control your time. You control your habits. You control your life. And when you control your life, you control your destiny. So forget about being motivated. That comes and goes. Be disciplined. Be relentless. Be boring if you have to show up day in, day out. Build a system. Live by your own code. Don't rely on hype trends or inspiration. Rely on grit, repetition, and consistency. When you build your life on discipline, you stop chasing success. You start becoming. And that's when the world starts to take you seriously. Because discipline isn't loud. It doesn't need to be. The results speak for themselves. You're either a predator or you're prey. That's not just a catchy phrase. It's how life operates. Every environment, every industry, every situation you'll ever walk into is governed by that brutal law. The strong dominate. The weak get eaten. There's no middle ground. No room for neutrality. If you're not actively hunting, building, growing, and attacking your goals, you're being hunted by time, mediocrity, debt, failure, and every soft comfort that pulls you away from greatness. And the worst part, Most people don't even realize they're prey until it's too late. They walk through life passive, distracted, unaware, and then one day they wake up old, bitter, and filled with regret. They were prey their entire life, and they didn't even know it. Being a predator isn't about hurting people, it's about mindset. It's about intent. It's about refusing to be passive. A predator moves with purpose. It doesn't wait around for perfect conditions. It doesn't care if it's tired, if it's raining, or if the world doesn't feel aligned. A predator gets up and handles business. You think lions wait for motivation? No, they move because that's who they are. You've got to adopt the same mentality. Be dangerous, not reckless. Be precise, not hesitant. Be calculated, not confused. When you walk into a room, your presence should carry weight. Not because you're loud, but because you're clear. You know who you are and what you came for. Most people are prey because they live in reaction. They respond to whatever life throws at them instead of creating the path themselves. They flinch at struggle. They crumble under pressure. They want everything handed to them. But life doesn't reward the passive. It rewards the prepared, the persistent, and the relentless. You need to train yourself to see opportunity in chaos, to spot weakness in the system, to read people, rooms, trends, and then strike with precision. That's how predators operate. They don't rush, but they're always ready. They're calm, but never soft. They listen more than they speak. They watch, they learn. And when the time comes, they don't hesitate. You can't fake being a predator. It's a result of what you've built in the dark. It comes from your routines, your habits, your standards. It comes from the weight you lift, the books you read, the discipline you maintain, the way you talk to yourself when no one else is around, the respect you demand from yourself before you ever expect it from others. That's where it starts. Not in the spotlight, but in silence. In solitude, you forge your edge when no one's watching. If you're tired of being overlooked, underestimated, pushed around, or dismissed, then wake up to the truth. You've been prey for too long. It's time to flip the script. No more walking with your head down. No more second guessing. No more letting life happen to you. Hunt. Create. Dominate. Become the one who decides, not the one waiting to be chosen. You're not here to be average. You're not here to survive. You're here to lead the hunt. So sharpen your mind. Strengthen your body. Harden your soul. Because in this world, you're either the one that strikes or the one that bleeds. Choose wisely. Your mind is your weapon, but most people walk around with it blunt, dull, and unfocused. They let distractions control their day, emotions control their decisions, and comfort control their direction. That's weakness disguised as normal life. You have a tool more powerful than any machine, more valuable than any asset, your mind. But if you don't sharpen it, it works against you. It becomes the voice that whispers doubt, the excuse factory, the comfort dealer that tells you to sit down when you should be standing up. If you want to become a savage in this world, truly untouchable, it starts with mental dominance. Not physical strength, not followers, not luck. Mental control, mental clarity, mental precision. That's the foundation of everything. Your brain is like a battlefield. Every day, thoughts are firing, some of them yours, some planted by others. The media, your social feed, your peers, even your family, they all push ideas into your head. Most people don't filter what they allow in. They consume junk information, negativity, distractions, and then wonder why they feel lost. You need to treat your mind like a fortress. Not everything gets through the gate. You choose what enters. You train it. You put it under pressure. You expose it to difficulty on purpose so that when the real chaos shows up, you don't break. That's how warriors are built, not by chance, but by choice. Mental toughness isn't about pretending to be emotionless. It's about mastering emotion, knowing when to shut down fear, when to control anger, when to ignore anxiety. It's about recognizing that your feelings are real, but they aren't always right. Weak minds obey emotions. Strong minds use them. A savage doesn't panic in pressure. He doesn't crumble in pain. He's calm in the storm because he's trained for it. His mind isn't soft. It's been forged like steel. through discipline, through focus, through brutal honesty. You need to stop waiting for the world to make sense. It won't. People will disappoint you. Plans will fail. Life will hit you from angles you didn't see coming. But if your mind is sharp, nothing breaks you. You adapt. You pivot. You move forward. You stop playing the victim and start playing the game like a tactician. Control your mind, or be controlled by everything around you. That's the rule. There's no in between. Sharpening your mind means reading things that challenge you, cutting out mental junk food, and asking yourself hard questions. It means having self-awareness so strong that lies can't survive inside your own head. It means being focused, even when it's boring. It means setting your own standard and refusing to lower for anything or anyone. A sharp mind doesn't chase chaos. It commands order. A sharp mind doesn't react emotionally. It calculates. It doesn't get overwhelmed by adversity. It studies it and turns it into an advantage. The reason so many people stay stuck is not because they're not talented. It's because their mind is weak. They doubt themselves. They hesitate. They let pressure own them. But if you want to rise, if you want to dominate, must think like a savage. See opportunity where others see obstacles. Keep moving when others freeze. Be dangerous not because of what you lift, but because of how you think. Make your mind your deadliest weapon. And there's no battlefield in life where you won't win. Too many people think success is handed out like candy, that if you're good enough or nice enough, you'll get what you want. That's the soft, comfortable lie society sells to keep the masses docile. But the truth is, brutal success is a battlefield, and it belongs to those willing to fight tooth and nail for every inch. If you want to become a savage, you have to understand that nobody owes you anything. Not a single thing. The world doesn't care about your feelings, your excuses, or your dreams. It cares about results. It cares about action. It cares about relentless pursuit. You want success, then be prepared to pay the price. That price is sacrifice. It's the blood, sweat, and tears nobody sees. It's the late nights when everyone else is partying. It's the early mornings when the world is still asleep. It's choosing discomfort over comfort every single day. Savages don't negotiate with ease. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They create the perfect moment by outworking everyone else, by outlasting every obstacle, by pushing beyond pain and fatigue when the mind screams to quit. Many fail because they want the trophy without the grind. They want the spotlight without the rehearsal. But champions know that grinding is where the real work happens, where character is built and limits are shattered. It's in those moments of struggle that you become unbreakable. That's where your savage nature is forged. Not when things are easy, but when things are impossible. If you want to stand out, you have to be willing to go where others refuse. Be ready to put in the work no one else will. The sacrifices, the loneliness, the criticism. You endure it all because you know the prize is worth it. Success is not a gift. It's a conquest. It's earned by the bold, the persistent, and the savage-minded. You've got to be ruthless with distractions. Cut out anything that doesn't serve your mission. Stop making excuses. Stop blaming circumstances. Stop waiting for luck. The savage mentality means taking 100% responsibility for your life. Own your failures, learn from them, and use them as fuel. Never be satisfied with yesterday's results. Every day is a new battle, and every battle is an opportunity to prove you're a winner. Understand this: when you sacrifice today, you secure tomorrow. When you push harder, you rise higher. When you commit fully, you leave no room for doubt. The savage doesn't quit because the pain is real. He quits only if he's dead. That's the mindset that builds empires, breaks chains, and changes destinies. So if you're serious about success, start acting like it. Stop playing the victim and start owning your grind. Become the hunter in your story, not the hunted. This is how winners are made. In the trenches, in the sweat, in the relentless pursuit of greatness. Too many people wander through life without a true purpose, aimlessly chasing distractions and fleeting pleasures. They live day to day, reacting to whatever life throws at them, never stopping to ask the hard questions. What am I here for? What do I want to leave behind? Without a clear purpose, you become like a ship lost at sea, buffeted by every wave, tossed by every storm, with no real direction. Becoming a savage means discovering that purpose and chasing it with an unrelenting hunger. It means refusing to settle for a life of mediocrity, instead choosing to dominate your path with clarity and fire. Purpose is the engine that drives discipline, resilience, and grit. When you have a mission so clear and powerful that it consumes you, excuses lose their power. Pain becomes temporary, setbacks become lessons, and every obstacle transforms into fuel. Purpose creates a mental fortress where doubt and fear cannot breach the walls. It aligns your decisions, sharpens your focus, and empowers you to say no to anything that doesn't serve your ultimate goal. Without it, you drift. With it, you become unstoppable. Finding your purpose isn't easy. It requires brutal honesty with yourself. It means digging deep into your passions, your strengths, and even your failures to uncover what truly matters. It means asking yourself what legacy you want to build and what kind of person you want to become. A savage isn't satisfied with superficial answers or temporary distractions. They go beneath the surface and confront their true desires, no matter how uncomfortable that process might be. This is how greatness is born, not from comfort, but from confrontation with your deepest self. Once you find that purpose, you guard it fiercely. You build routines that serve it, surround yourself with people who uplift it, and commit to actions that honor it. You stop wasting energy on things that don't matter and focus all your resources on what will move you closer to your vision. That's how you rise above the noise. That's how you stay motivated when everything else screams at you to quit. Purpose transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. It's the difference between someone who dreams and someone who achieves. It's the reason why some people break records, build empires, and change the world while others fade into obscurity. Becoming a savage means embracing that higher calling and living every day with it in your sights. When you do that, failure no longer scares you. Setbacks don't stop you, and limits become nothing more than a challenge to overcome. You become relentless because your purpose is bigger than any obstacle. The world is filled with lost souls wandering aimlessly, but savages are rare because they have found their fire. They know exactly why they fight, why they hustle, and why they refuse to be ordinary. That clarity gives them power. That hunger drives their actions. And that purpose shapes their destiny. So if you want to be savage, start with purpose. Find your why, lock onto it, and chase it down like your life depends on it, because it does.